Hello everybody, it's Maikito. I apologize for not posting a video yesterday. I had to study for a final that I had this morning, so I had to concentrate on that. I had to study for that. Woke up early in the morning, studied some more, but I did post a couple of plays on the Discord. Overall, I sent 9, 1 pushed, and 5. I went 5 right and 3 wrong. So decent, could have done better. When it comes to the last video, I sent 5 props on the YouTube. 1 pushed, 1 didn't start, and went 3-0 on those. And I didn't notice. I wasn't really keeping track when it came to the YouTube picks. But over the last 5 videos, without counting the added plays that I add in the description, when it comes to the YouTube plays, the YouTube player props, I've actually gone on a 5 video streak. I went 3-0 last vid, 4-0 before that, 6-0, 6-0, and then 2-0. So I'm actually on a 5 video 21-0 YouTube player prop run. I don't know. I didn't even notice that. I mean, like, it's mainly because I add some plays on the description and I've missed some of those. But when you when you consider just the YouTube ones, I've actually been on a really big run. And it's a really large slate tomorrow, and I have a lot of picks. So I honestly, with so many picks, I don't expect them all to sweep. But if we do, that'll be absolutely crazy. Going on a really good run when it comes to YouTube, and hopefully we can keep that momentum and streak going into the very large slate tomorrow. My first pick is in Spain La Liga. It is Mikel Oyarzabal, higher than 0.5 shots assisted, playing at home for Sociedad, going up against Palmas. He averages 0.9 at home, so almost 1. And he's played 14 games, and 5 of those have come off the bench, so he's only started 9. So that actually skews his numbers down. And even with those, he averages almost 1 a game. We just need him to get 1. Palmas allow 14.4 shots away from home. And he's gone over in 5 out of 5 games where Sociedad shoots 14 or more shots. So as long as Sociedad take those shots, I feel like he'll for sure get that 1 shot assisted. And the reason why I think they will be shooting a lot of shots is because they need to win this game to stay in 6th place, which is what they need to qualify for European competition next season. So Sociedad will be aggressive. He plays up top. He's been playing as a striker lately, and he's a decent passer. And as long as they take those shots, I expect Oyarzabal to get at least 1 shot assisted. My next pick is in the German Bundesliga. It is Serhou Guirassy, higher than 3 shots, playing at home for Stuttgart, going up against Bayern. He averaged 3.6 at home, and he's gone over in 3 out of 4 home games this year. And I say this year because he had like an international break in December, and then he came back to the team in January. So since coming back in January, he's gone over in 3 out of 4 home games, or at least 3 plus. And another reason why is because although Bayern is a strong defensive team, I don't think they're going to be playing a lot of their starters because their next game after that is a semifinal of the Champions League against Real Madrid. So they're going to be concentrating on that. And they've already secured top 4, or pretty much already secured top 4 when it comes to next season. So I feel like they won't be starting a lot of their players, while Stuttgart is all they have to play for. So Stuttgart are going to be playing their main squad, attacking like usual, while Bayern might not have their strongest squad. And Stuttgart need this win to secure top 4. They're 3rd place right now. If they start losing, they could potentially lose that 4th spot. So they need to attack to get that top 4 spot. And I think at 3.0 it's a safe spot because usually his line is at 3.5. And he just came off a game where he took 6 shots against Bayer Leverkusen. So now he's playing against a Bayern team that might not be all the way there. You can also look at his teammate Dennis Undav at 2.5 shots if you want to take him instead. He also averages like 3.8 shots at home. But Guirassy is usually the main guy, which is why I'm picking him. But if you don't want to take him, you can take Undav at 2.5. My next pick is also in the Bundesliga. It is Alassane Plea, higher than 28.5 passes, playing away from home for Mönchengladbach, going up against Bremen. He's gone over in his last 5 out of 5 games, and even with some of those games, Mönchengladbach have only got 40% possession, and he's still gone over this mark, and that's because he's been passing more lately. I'm not sure why, but he's just been dropping back a little more, and he went over this mark against them earlier in the season at home. He had 38 passes. We just needed to get 29. And in that game, Mönchengladbach had 50% of the percent of the ball when it comes to possession, and I expect this next game to be around the same thing. Neither team have anything to play for anymore. It's not like either of them are in European competition. They're both are mid-table teams. They're not going to get relegated. They're not going to be in the top six. So this is just like a game that it can go either way. And I expect this game to be a 50-50% possession at least. So I don't see why this mark is so at 28.5, considering he's gone over 5 out of 5. Usually this I would say would be a trap, but usually with those traps there's some sort of reason why a team could go lower, as in going against a high possession team or injuries or something like that. But there's nothing here, so I'll take this again, or I'll take this anytime. Play at over 28.5 passes. My next pick is on the other side. It is Marvin Dush, higher than 0.5 goals and assists. He has 10 goals and assists in 15 home games, so over in about 66% of the game. And in the last 2 games, he's had 4 goals and assists, 3 goals, 1 assist, and 2 and 2 in the last 2, I believe. And he's hot right now. He's probably gonna start on the street, so I might as well take him now while the prop is still up there, especially against a Mönchengladbach side that average over 2 goals against them per game away from home. So if Bremen score those 2 or even that 1, I do think Dush will be involved in that. And even like if they get a penalty, he's their taker. He's been involved in all their goals, or a lot of their goals lately. So I like this mark. Gladbach has conceded 10 goals in the last 5 games, and in the last 5 games, Bremen have scored 7 goals, and within those 7 goals, he's been involved in 5 out of the 7 games. So very, very likely that if they score, he's going to be involved, and I think they will score at least 1 and likely to score 2. So I like him to be involved. So I like Marvin Dush to go higher than 0.5 goals and assists. My next pick is in the England Premier League. It is Martin Dubravka, to go higher than 2.5 saves, playing away from home for Newcastle, going up against Burnley. He's gone over this mark in his last 5 away games, and Newcastle allows 16 shots away, and he saves 67% of his shots. And I say that because 1, he averages 4 saves, and 2, Burnley averaged almost 4 shots on target from almost 13 shots. So if Burnley just shoot what they normally shoot at home and they take 4 shots on target, I expect them to save 3 of them. But because Newcastle allow 16, that's about 3 to 4 more shots for Burnley, and I expect at least 1 or 2 of them to be on target. So that's just even better for Dubravka to get those saves. And both teams are going to be aggressive and I think there's going to be a lot of shots in this game because Burnley are fighting to stay in the league and avoid relegation, while Newcastle are fighting to be in the top 6 to get a European spot. And another reason why I think Burnley will be taking a lot of shots and Dubravka will need those saves is because Newcastle actually has a lot of injuries in their defense. Schär, Lascelles, Trippier, and Botman, which is pretty much their whole back line other than their current center back that they have right now. And if and I just feel like this is a good spot for Burnley to attack a weak defensive Newcastle side, and they already allow 16, so I just need Dubravka to go higher than 2.5 saves. My next pick is on the other side. It is Anthony Gordon, higher than 25.5 passes. He's gone over this mark in his last 4 out of 5 games, and he averages 25.8 passes away from home. And the reason why he's gone over 4 out of 5 is, like I said, they like to hold possession of the ball, but with these injuries that they've had in defense, Anthony Gordon has had to play back a little more than what he usually does. So I expect them to play full minutes because, like I said, they need to win if they want to get that top 6 spot. And I expect Newcastle to have around 55% of the ball, even with those defensive injuries, because their midfield is still pretty strong. And like I said, he's going to be playing a little more defensively or a little more back because of those injuries. So I like Anthony Gordon to go higher than 25.5 passes. My next pick is in Spain La Liga. It is Rafinha to go higher than 0.5 shots on target, playing away from home for Barcelona, going up against Girona. He averages 1.43 per 90. I say per 90 because there's some games where he came off the bench or some games where he's gone off with injury. But I don't expect that to happen this game. He's gone over this mark in 4 out of the last 5 games. And when he played him earlier in the season at home, we just need him to get 1. But when he played them earlier in the season, he had 4. So he absolutely smashed this mark against them. And he's not afraid to shoot. He'll take long shots if he has to. He'll take free kicks. He'll run in the box and take shots if he has to. So I like Rafinha to get at least 1 shot on target. My last player prop is in the German Bundesliga. It is Michael Gregoritsch, higher than 2.5 shots, playing away from home for Freiburg, going up against Köln. He's gone over this mark in his last 5 out of 5 games. And per 90, he averages 4.12, which is his averages look small when you just consider it just by how he plays. But when he plays the actual game, because sometimes he comes off the bench, he averages 4.12, and he came off the bench against them earlier in the season. He only played 30 minutes, and in those 30 minutes, he had 3 shots already. So now that he's going to be playing full minutes against them, I expect him to get those 3 shots, and they need to get this win to get top 6. Again, I'm emphasizing this top 6 because teams are always going to be fighting to get a European spot next season, and I think this is good value. This is where his mark is usually at. It's not like Köln is a good defensive team or anything. They're below average defensive team at home, so I like Gregoritsch to go higher than 2.5 shots. I want to give a shout out to my partner Underdog Fantasy. You can use code Maikito, linked in the description. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. I also have other codes like my Fliff and my Cashapp linked in the description. And I really appreciate anybody who uses either one of those codes. Donating is always optional. It is never required. It is just if you are feeling generous and want to give back. So again, I appreciate anybody who uses any of those. When it comes to money lines, I have one lean, and that's the Dortmund money line against Augsburg. Normally, I would take this, and normally just at home against Augsburg. And the reason why you can see it's less used than usual is because, like Bayern, Dortmund are also in the semifinal, so they might not play their full team. So this could be prone for them to lose or to draw or something. But they do need to win. They'll be 3 points behind if they win to get top 4 in the scenario that they don't win the Champions League. And if they don't win it, they won't be in the Champions League next season. So they do need to win this game, but I feel like they might not have their full team because they want to concentrate on the next game. But I do like them even if they don't start their full team. So I have that as a lean. But my first official play when it comes to money lines, it is in Spain La Liga. It is the Real Madrid money line going up against Cadiz. They've gone over this mark in 14 out of 16 home games. They're undefeated at home. Those 2 that they didn't win, they drew. And Cadiz have actually not won a single game away from home, and they've lost 10 out of the 16 games. They've only scored 8 in 16, and they've conceded 27 in those games. So I just feel like it's a good mark for Madrid to not concede against Cadiz because they're just not good in the attack. And you're also getting a little more value because they're also in the semifinals, and they'll be playing some of their probably bench players in the attack. But even those bench players are Arda Güler, Joselu, Brahim Diaz, and they'll probably even start Modric in the midfield. So even with those players, I like Madrid to win this game. And they're close to winning the league. They have not quite won it yet, but they are pretty much already there. And winning this game at home in front of their fans, it's just another reason for them to win against a weak Cadiz side. They played them earlier in the season and they won 3-0. And like I said, you're getting good value for this, considering what it usually would be juiced at because of those bench players. So I like the Madrid money line against Cadiz. My next pick is in the Italian Serie A. It is the Inter Milan second half 3-way money line against Sassuolo. I usually take the first half, but this time I'm taking the second half. They've gone over this mark in 9 out of 16 away, and in those 16 away games, they've only conceded 3 goals in the second half, which is really, really, really good. They're the best in the league when it comes to that. And Sassuolo are a lot weaker in the attack at home in the second half, surprisingly. They've scored only 9 goals in 17 home games, and they've gone under this mark in 3 out of the last 5 home games. And Sassuolo's attack have major injuries. Castillejo, Defrel, and Berardi are 3 of their guys that they use in the attack, but they're all injured. So emphasizing this because Sassuolo are very unlikely to score in the second half, considering Inter Milan's really good defense and their bad injuries and attack that they have. So I like the Inter Milan second half through a money line. And my last pick is in France League 1. It is AS Monaco money line against Clermont. They've gone over this mark in 8 out of 15 games. And the main reason why I'm taking it is because Clermont is actually the worst team in Ligue 1 away from home. They have the worst attack away. And I feel like this is just going to come down to AS Monaco outscoring them, which they will. They're close to securing top 3. They are second place, but they are only like 1 or 2 points ahead of 4th place. So they need to get this win to try to secure one of these top 3 spots. And they're good defensively at home. They've only conceded 13 and 15, which is one of the best in the league. So like I said, Clermont have a really bad attack, so this just comes down to outscoring them. Even if Clermont somehow get one, I expect Monaco to get two. So I like the AS Monaco money line against Clermont. Thank you everybody for watching the video. Like I said, we've actually been going on a good run when it comes to YouTube player props, and hopefully we can keep that going. I have a lot of picks, so let's see if, as long as we can get a good amount right, maybe 6, 7 out of 9, that'll be really good for us. I really appreciate everybody who watched the video all the way through. Hopefully we can cash out tomorrow, and if I do have any added plays, I'll make sure to add them in the YouTube description. So make sure to add those to add more lines. And as the team's lineups are confirmed, if anything changes or lines change, I'll look at those and put them in the YouTube description. But thank you all for watching, and hopefully we all have a good night and we can cash out tomorrow.